Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. I haven't posted in a while. I've been a bit under the weather, but so every once in a while, a story comes out that makes you just want to go, oh man, And this is one, and it's posted by the legacy media, right? The mainstream media. This is a story out of Nashville, Tennessee. Excuse me, on their TV station WKRN.com. So that's their blog thing, and the author is quoting the local regional, the field division for ATF out of Nashville, a new device that warns of being attached to guns. Well, it turns out they're talking about the Glock switch. That's the little thing that you put on a Glock to make it, you know, basically a machine gun. But the the boogeyman part, and I want to really get into this for a minute because I fired fully automatic, and I fired rates of fire that you almost wish you had. You know, from 4,000 rounds a minute to 8,000 rounds a minute as just selecting a switch. So they say, well, it can fire. It turns into a machine gun and it can fire 1,200 rounds a minute. And I go, okay, that's the math. Because remember, the rate of fire is determined by the fire control, not fire control, but the fire mechanism of the firearm, right? And a couple other things. So, yeah, mathematically, a Glock switch can turn a Glock pistol, usually a 9mm, into the ability to fire 1,200 rounds in a minute as a rate of fire. Well, that doesn't mean jack. That doesn't mean jack, because then you have to look at, well, who in their right mind would want to really use that other than for fun, unless you're a gangbanger and or you are a gangbanger and want to kill as many people in the rival gang as you can in a drive-by. You're not going to hit anything with most of those rounds. The other part is the if you're using this in some kind of assault way, it's pretty much going to be suppressive fire, right? Because that's when you use fully automatic as suppressive fire anyway. Anyone who's been trained in the military knows that's the case. So a handgun to put down suppressive fire is one of the stupidest things to try and do, even if it has some kind of stock thing, you know, right? Because you can't control anything. You're not going to be aiming at anything really. You're just going to be throwing a bunch of rounds down range. Well, what does that really mean in practice? Well, you know, if you do the math, which I just did, 1,200 rounds a minute, you would be putting down about, assuming that the firearm reliably could handle that rate of fire for any extended period of time, 20 rounds per second. Think about that, 20 rounds per second. And if you have a 20 or 30 round magazine, in 1 second you've dumped your magazine. Now you're done. You got a dead gun, right? Well, now you have to reload. Even if you're really good at reloading, you're never going to get to the uninterrupted 1,200 rounds a minute as you change magazines. You certainly are not going to be able to hit anything while you're doing it unless you're up so close and you're in a real crowd and that kind of thing. Or you got a bunch of guys and you're trying to put down suppressive fire. Assuming the other guys don't have the same thing. So who cares? Who cares? Who cares if somebody puts a switch on a Glock and makes it fire at a rate of fire 1,200 rounds a minute? I don't. Because my my AR and I don't even have burst mode. I have semi-automatic. My finger can put down more accurate rounds than this switch thing that people are so deathly afraid of. So who would be afraid of that? Well, cops maybe. if they're trying to assault somebody. But remember, guys, you law enforcement people, in 1 second, they're going to be dumping a mag. Let's say that they have one of these long 100-round things, which is also stupid, right? They're still not going to be able to hit anything. They're not going to be able to control recoil on something like that, right? You guys have much better control of fire. You don't need all this automatic fire stuff, and you can put suppressive fire just one round at a time if you want to on whoever has got this Glock switch thing. So in practice, it doesn't matter. It's just a boogeyman. It's a boogeyman to go after this idea of machine guns. I don't care about machine guns because machine guns are not that effective. If they were, our military would be training to use it all the time. The exception would be crew-served squad weapons, where their intent is to put down suppressive fire. And it takes two people, somebody to control the gun, and the other person to feed it. Right? That is not practical. That is not practical in the civilian world, right? Unless there's some kind of revolution or craziness. So I put this out there because it just, it's another example of legacy media taking a little bit of information and go, oh my God, 1,200 rounds in a minute, and look how many people they can kill in a minute. That's just not going to work that way. The math doesn't support it. The operational practice of a firearm, especially a pistol, is not going to support that. Right? Oh, wait, there's more. Then there's the cost of ammo. Even if you're a bad guy, you still got to go buy ammo unless you're going to steal crates of it. Right? Impractical. And yes, you might have people with those things on, but they're more show than go. I'm just saying. So if you're a gangbanger out there and you think you want to put one of these things on your Glock, go ahead, be stupid. Go ahead, be stupid. Wait. You then have to have, so you got these 60 or 100 round magazines. How many of those things 12 sticks, assuming it's a 100 round magazine, 12 of those things you got to carry. Who's going to carry it? I don't care how baggy your pants are. You're not going to be able to carry all that stuff. In a moving car, reloading. Come on, get out of here. So, to those who feel they need or would like to have a switch on their Glock or a similar pistol, go ahead, be stupid. It's not going to buy you anything. It'll give you a tactical disadvantage for folks like me who know how to put down real fire on you and don't need a machine gun to do that. Or your local law enforcement, be it PD or sheriff or whatever, they'll be able to take you out. They'll just duck for a couple of seconds and you're out of ammo. I love that part. You're out of ammo. So anyway, I thought I would put that out there because it just made me kind of cranky that somebody would care about this rate of fire thing and not have a clue on what that would mean in practice. Now, I'm going to close with how I always do. Thanks for coming by the channel. If you like the content, subscribe, hit the bell icon, share with whoever you would like to share with. Comment down below. Some of you may have different thoughts in terms of the practical application of the switch and that kind of rate of fire in a handgun. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well. With that, as always, thanks for watching and carry on.